our individual freedom of belief and diversity. We seek to promote a sense of community and meant to enrich your spirit. Whoever you are, wherever you've come from, whatever your beliefs, whomever you love, and however bumpy your life's journey, know that you're welcome here. We would like to acknowledge that Vashon Mori Island is the ancestral home of the Squeebosh Coast Salish Native people, the first people here. This land was their home for many thousands of years, long before Euro-American voyagers and settlers came and displaced them. This is their traditional home, and their historical relationship with the land continues today. We honor the island itself and the Squeebosh people, past and present. You are in for a treat today. Our service is filled with speakers and music interspersed with opportunities here and there for you to take part. We've decided to put the traditional parts of our Sunday service first before we start the main presentation. And as Alex said before, if you just joined us, there are 5 items that you'll need to take part. So now is a good time during the announcements for you to get these 5 items: a rock, slip of paper, pencil, pen, candle, and a cup or a bowl of water. So we'll begin with the announcements now. If you have an announcement of an event that's sponsored by our fellowship, now's the time. We'd ask you to unmute, say your name, and give your announcement. If you have other announcements that are more general, not really related to the fellowship, we do have a Facebook page. We invite everybody to participate in that. We now have an Instagram account, and we also have our weekly newsletter. You can send information to our administrator. So, any announcements?
Yeah, my name is Tanya, and our racism discussion is starting this Monday at 6:30 to 7:30. It's in the newsletter. You can send me an email, and I'll send you the link. Tanya Roberts at centurytel.net. Hope to see you. We have about 20 people signed up so far. Half of them are from VIUF, and half of them are other people from Vashon. So, see you then. Bye.
Hey, so I'm Leah, and I'm the RE coordinator. And I just wanted to announce to everyone that next Saturday, we have the Winter Delight talent show coming up. And there is a spectacular array of acts that are going to be participating, from professional musicians from all over the island: Danny Newcomb, Camille Reeves, Ela Lamblin, Xander Knott is going to be there. Congregants, ukulele, jokes, moonwalks, dog tricks, all kinds of fun things. And I want to encourage you to come. I want to encourage you to come with a beverage and a snack. And it's at 7 o'clock, and we think it's going to be a fabulous hoot. Invite friends. This would be a fabulous thing to invite friends to. Okay. I believe the link will be the same as the Sunday service for ease.
My name is Beth White, and I wanted to announce that next week's service is a special one. Every now and then we have This I Believe services in which individuals and members of our congregation speak about what their beliefs are. I'm happy to announce that Margaret Mackey, Vicki Claybaugh, and Lisa Schlosser will be our 3 presenters. It promises to be a beautiful, beautiful service. So I hope to see you next Sunday.
Can you hear me? Oh, good. Hi, I'm Jessica, and I'm announcing the Vashon Island Unitarian Fellowship Women's Group. It's the second Wednesday at 6:30 by Zoom. And the topic is Imagine, and the date is the 13th of January this month. And all women who walk this life with the identity of female and identify with the divine feminine are welcome to join. We're inclusive and we welcome our trans sisters. And if you have questions or would like the email to be on the email chain with the reminder, I'm at Jessamama, JESAMAMA at Yahoo. And so that's because I'm Jessica Ann, Jessamama at yahoo.com.
Any other announcements?
I just wanted to announce that this January's month book of the month for their book club is The Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu with Douglas Abrams. And it has a lot of interesting stuff. Nice way to start the year with the Book of Joy. So everyone's welcome to join. It's on the fourth Sunday right after the service. So that'll be January 24th. In the meantime, you could send in suggestions for the February book.
Any other announcements? Well, Alex doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I remembered that this is the first Sunday of the month and we have birthdays. And I almost forgot, and I have a January birthday. So those of you that have birthdays this month, if you raise your hands or wave or do something, I see Donna, I see Janice, who else? Ann Lewis, Dennis, anybody else? So I'm not going to sing, but let's wish everybody a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
January
birthday. Happy birthday.
Okay, now Alex is going to light our chalice and start our formal service and lead us in a short meditation.
For our chalice lighting, in the words of John O'Donohue, may all that is unforgiven in you be released. May your fears yield their deepest tranquilities. May all that is unlived in you blossom into a future graced with love. And I'd like to have everybody, if you feel comfortable and in closing your eyes, you can close your eyes with your feet on the floor. And I'd like to take you through a short meditation, just breathing, just a deep breath in, a deep belly breath, fill your belly and slowly blow out through your nose. Exhale longer. Inhale again, do a couple of these inhales into your belly. Exhale, feeling yourself sitting in your chair, feeling the weight of your body, just being present. Another deep breath in, fill your lungs with air, and slowly exhale and just know that you are right here, right now, in community. Okay, Sheila.
Okay, now we come to the joys and concerns part of our service. We're going to ask you to be brief this morning with joys and concerns because there'll be more opportunities for people to
There
We engage beyond our walls. Our love calls us to act for peace, social and economic justice, freedom of belief, and protection of the planet and its inhabitants. As individuals and as a fellowship, we engage in worthy local and global causes. We stay informed on issues of our time, though each step may seem small, and we persevere, our spirits renewed by involvement. By our actions, we hope to inspire others to join us in this work. One Sunday a month, we use 100% of our collection for a nonprofit of our choice. This Sunday, our offering goes to Vashon Island Unitarian Fellowship and the work that we do. And while we can't pass the basket, I encourage you all to donate either online at VIUF.org or send checks to our post office box, which you can also find the address on VIUF.org. And Stephen just put it in the chat for you. So please take some time and roll a little in the offering basket, or as Beth is doing with her jar. You can put a jar aside and every Sunday put in what you would normally put in the basket and then write a check. So we thank you very much for your support. Thanks, that was great. So now we're going to go into our yearly New Year's ritual. And I got to say, this is one of my favorite services of the year where we kind of look back and look forward and take some time to reflect and hope. So I'd like to introduce Alex Clark, who's going to lead us in this ritual.
Thank you, Sheila. And thank you, Stephen, for all the tech work. Welcome, everyone. So how this ritual is going to go, I'm making it in two parts. The first part is how we look back on 2020. And of course, the second part is how we look forward on 2021. And I was just introduced to this amazing author and poet and John O'Donohue, who many of you know, but I just recently fell in love with him, so decided to have his words help us with all of this. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to be hearing poems or as their blessings in this book to bless the space between us. There will be activities that I have throughout, but please just enjoy the beautiful words that you're going to hear. And we have different readers reading. So for 2020, the poems that are going to be read are for failure, for one who's exhausted, for loneliness, and then for celebration. Because in the year we had a lot of that. we had, but you'll see with the poems and the blessings that John O'Donohue writes is, even though it's about loneliness or exhaustion or failure, they start off with naming what the feelings are, but then he goes into turning it around and making it something very beautiful. So let's begin, and Spencer will read the first one, For Failure, John O'Donohue.
The will of color loves how light spreads, through its diffusions making textures subtle, clothing a landscape in concealment, for color to keep its mysteries hidden from the unready eye. But the light that comes after rain is always fierce and clear, and illuminates the face of everything through the transparency of rain. Despite its initial darkening, this is the light that failure casts, beholden no more to the promise of what dream and work would bring. It shows where roots have withered and where the source has gone dry. The light of failure has no mercy on the affections of the heart. It emerges from beyond the personal, a wiry, forthright light that likes to see crevices open in the shell of a controlled life. Though cruel now, it serves a deeper kindness, wise to the larger call of growth. It invites us to humility and the painstaking work of acceptance, so that one day we may look back in recognition and appreciation at the disappointment we now endure.
Thank you, Spencer. And I'm going to ask everybody right now, if you'd like to, while Kat will play a beautiful melody, think of words that begin with R-E. And you type them in. Now think about 2020 and words that begin with R-E that talk about that. So maybe remove, reconcile. Let's do that for a couple minutes while we listen to Kat.
I don't want to do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Kat. And I just noticed something because we will do this again. And I want to tell everybody, if you try to type in the chat when the chat is off, it'll only go to either me or Stephen. So a lot of people just wrote to me directly. So the way it works in Zoom, when you need to reset it to go to everyone. So when you're about to type, make sure it says to everyone, because if it just says my name, I'm the only one that sees it and other people don't. So I think I got a lot of RE words that you didn't see. And I didn't time it, and I'll time it next time. So we'll go on to our second one. And with this one, Jessica's going to read it. And as she reads it, I'd like you to hold on to your rock while you hear
so I can see what I'm doing.
the words that Jessica reads. Oops. Sorry, Jessica.
There we go. I'm good. A blessing for one who is exhausted. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside of you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down. You cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest. And patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken for the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken and sadness will take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground, and now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed of spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time.
Thank you. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. And now we'll listen to a song by Kat.
Alex, this is the one more step time, right? It seems right for this, I think.
Yes, right? Yes. Do that.
It's this is. I wrote this song the first time I was dealing with cancer many years ago now, 16 years ago, and it was. I remembered that time a lot during the last year because it felt similar, because there was a level of it that was just kind of putting your head down and keeping going one step at a time. And it seemed like a very lonely process. It wasn't until I started to come out of it that I realized how many people were around close by. So it was a good reminder. So this is what came out of it. Thanks for selecting this song for this portion, Alex. So you walked like you'd never falter. So you moved like you still had faith. Head down and a turned up collar. Through a string of long, hard days. Walking through the darkest passage. Though you saw no light ahead. And your greatest act of courage was taking one more step. So you raised your voice in sorrow till you heard no other sound, saw nothing but your own shadow with your eyes turned toward the ground. And when at last some kindness found you, it was as though you had slept, and the crowd in the dark all around you were all taking one more step. Oh, the warmest of standing water, it may someday come to freeze. So you'll tell your sons and your daughters how to live through times like these. Tell them when their hearts are frozen to trust their feet instead, when there is nothing left but motion and taking one more step. And when we find that we are laughing and we are running in the sun, then we know that we still are breathing and the long dark night is done. Finally resting from the battle, wondering where our feet have led, amazed at how we traveled by taking one more step.
Thank you, Kat. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thanks.
Our next poem/blessing will be read by Shauna, and it's titled For Loneliness. And I want, while you're listening to it, to think of, as John O'Donohue says, loneliness is what returns us to our essence. So think of that when you hear Shauna. Go ahead, Shauna. Thank you, Shauna.
For loneliness. When the light lessens, causing colors to lose their courage, and your eyes fix on the empty distance that can open on either side of the surest line, to make all that is familiar and near seem suddenly foreign. When the music of talk breaks apart into noise and you hear your heart louden, while the voices around you slow down to leaden echoes, turning silence into something stony and cold. When the old ghosts come back to feed on everywhere you felt sure, do not strengthen their hunger by choosing fear. Rather, decide to call on your heart that it may grow clear and free to welcome home your emptiness, that it may cleanse you like the clearest air you could ever breathe. Allow your loneliness time to dissolve the shell of dross that had closed around you. Choose in this severe silence to hear the one true voice your rushed life fears. Cradle yourself like a child, learning to trust what emerges, so that gradually you may come to know that deep in that black hole, you will find the blue flower that holds the mystical light, which will illuminate in you the glimmer of springtime.
Thank you, Shauna.
Alex, can I just say, by the way, that
Yes.
there, when you ask for RE words, there is a very, it's an old and rare word that was from the 16th century England and is starting to be used. And the word is respare. And it's to repair yourself after a time of despair and darkness, because you start to feel a sense of hope.
Thank you. From Our Lady with the words. Thank you so much, Anna. Respare. Well, now I'm going to ask you to use your writing implement and your piece of paper. And I want you to think back on 2020, when there was a time when your connection to people, even if we're alone, or maybe just the people in our house, we still are connected. There's a lot of ways where we're connected. And when that connection breaks, sometimes it's something you said or something you did. This is a chance to write down something that caused your connection with somebody to break. So it's a chance for you to write it down as Kat plays some music. I'd like you to write down what you want to get rid of, and we're going to fold it and put it aside for right now. You're just going to write it and put it aside. Go ahead, Kat. Thank you.
The tune is called The Lonesome Jig. It's one of the names for it. I thought it was appropriate for this poem.
Perfect. Okay, with that paper aside, there were times for celebration in 2020. So we are going to hear our last blessing, and Kim back will read it. And afterwards, we will have a little activity. So take it away, Kim.
For celebration, now is the time to free the heart. Let all intentions and worries stop. Free the joy inside the self. Awaken to the wonder of your life. Open your eyes and see the friends whose hearts recognize your face as kin. Those whose kindness, watchful and near, encourage you to live everything here. See the gifts the years have given, things your effort could never earn, the health to enjoy who you want to be, and the mind to mirror mystery.
Thank you, Kim. The chat will be open now, and I would like to ask everybody, first of all, make sure it's to everyone, and type in anything that you have need of celebration for 2020, things that happened that you really want to celebrate. And Kat will play some music for a couple minutes while we do that. And this doesn't have to be an RE word, just anything you have for celebration.
This is a little more upbeat. It's called Over the Moor to Maggie. Irish tunes, most of these, of course.
Thank you. Wow, that was really fun reading all of these. Look at all these things we have for celebration. And they're still coming. Well, we're going to go on to the second half, which is 2021. Here we are in 2021, the third day. And what I want to do is the 4 poems that I've chosen, the 4 poems, blessings that will be read. We're going to start off with Donna. Before we do that, actually, Donna's going to be reading 4 presents. I'd like to have you do an nope, don't want to do that. I want you just to be present. That's what I want you to do. I'm going to invite you to be present and to listen to this absolutely beautiful blessing. So take it away, Donna.
For presence, awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. Have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. Receive encouragement when new frontiers beckon. Respond to the call of your gift and the courage to follow its path. Let the flame of anger free you of all falsity. May warmth of the heart keep your presence aflame. May anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. Take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. Be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder.
Thank you, Donna. Beautiful. So with your paper that you have written on, I don't want you to do this now, but if you have a fireplace or a stove, fire stove, later burn this up. And if you don't have fire and you can't have candles where you live, which some people can't, it feels really good just to rip it up into teeny little pieces. You could virtually just pretend you're throwing it into the fire, throw it into your flame. So right now, as Kat plays us some music, we are going to think of RE words for 2021 and our hopes for 2021. So please type in words like I'm going to type in recover is going to be my first. So let's do that for a couple minutes. Make sure you're typing to everyone, please.
This is an Irish song without the lyrics. The lyrics are all in Irish. The song is called Bruach na Curaban, which means the edge of the white rock. White rocks. Rocks and water.
Wonderful. That's a lot of words. Those are a lot of words. Thank you, Kat, and thank you, everyone. And Stephen is going to collect these words and do something pretty on our newsletter. Right now, Stephen is going to read the next blessing for a new home. And the reason I chose this blessing is because we are in our homes and we look at our homes completely differently now because we have spent so much time in them, and we will be spending a lot more time in our homes. And these are absolutely beautiful words for our home, for our new home, the way we look at it. Go ahead, Stephen.
For a new home. May this house shelter your life when you come in home here. May all the weight of the world fall from your shoulders. May your heart be tranquil here, blessed by peace that the world cannot give. May this home be a lucky place where the graces your life desires always find the pathway to your door. May nothing be destructive or ever cross your threshold. May this be a safe place, full of understanding and acceptance, where you can be as you are without the need of any mask of pretense or image. May this home be a place of discovery, where the possibilities that sleep in the clay of your soul can emerge to deepen and refine your vision for all that is yet to come to birth. May it be a house of courage, where healing and growth are loved, where dignity and forgiveness prevail. A home where patience of spirit is prized and the sight of the destination is never lost, though the journey be difficult and slow. May there be great delight around this hearth. May it be a house of welcome for the broken and diminished. May you have the eyes to see that no visitor arrives without a gift, and no guest ever leaves without a blessing.
Thank you. For our next one, I get to read it. And this is the time I want to ask you to put your fingers in your cup or your bowl of water and just move them around as you listen to me reading this next blessing, because I want you to keep in mind that the water in our world is finite, and it all goes back together. Even though it's temporarily in your little vessel that you put it in, it will go back. So it is all connected. When we touch water, we touch something that is connected to everything else. So as I read this, put your fingers in the water. This is called At the End of the Year. The particular mind of the ocean, filling the coastlines longing with such brief harvest of elegant vanishing waves, is like the mind of time opening us shapes of days. As this year draws to an end, we give thanks for the gift it brought and how they became inlaid within, where neither time nor tide can touch them. The days when the veil lifted and the soul could see delight, when the quiver caressed the heart and the sheer exuberance of being here. Surprises that came awake in forgotten corners of old fields where expectation seemed to have quenched. The slow brooding times when all was awkward, and the wave in the mind pierced every sore with salt. The darkened days that stopped the confidence of the dawn, days when beloved faces shone brighter with light from beyond themselves, and from the granite of some secret sorrow, a stream of buried tears loosened. We bless this year for all we learned, for all we loved and lost, and for the quiet way it brought us nearer to our invisible destination. And you can keep your fingers in the water as Kat sings us one of her originals.
It just happens to be called Go to the Water. The songwriter, in search of a metaphor, if she lives on an island, does not have to look very far. Go to the water, walk down slow, where the rock is battered and the branch hangs low, where the sea is rough and the sun burns hotter. To know love, go to the water. You walk through the garden in the early spring, where the wild blossom was a growing thing, and you press that flower in your favorite book, where it kept its color but never bore fruit. So go to the water, walk down slow, where the rock is battered and the branch hangs low, where the sea is rough and the sun burns hotter. To know love, go to the water. Nothing so smooth as a side of a thorn, and nothing so calm as the eye of a storm to young love. Nothing so sweet as the sound of a promise no one could keep. So go to the water, walk down slow, where the rock is battered and the branch hangs low, where the sea is rough and the sun burns hotter. To know love, go to the water. It laughs and shouts where it touches land, and it holds the world like a loving hand. It's a bed of pearls on a moonlit night, full of life, no end in sight. Go to the water, walk down slow, where the rock is battered and the branch hangs low, where the sea is rough and the sun burns hotter. To know love, go to the water. To know love, go to the water.
I see clapping hands, Kat. We would all be clapping if you could hear us. Thank you.
I can hear you. I've got a good imagination.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
And all of your music. Thank you so much. Well, we've come to the end, almost. Brian McAvoy, who is all the way in England, will be reading our benediction, which is also words from John O'Donohue. And after he reads them, I will blow out the chalice, and you'll hear the chime from Sheila. And if you want to hang around and listen and watch a 5-minute video at the end, it has the recorded words of John O'Donohue himself and some beautiful images. So that's on after. So Brian, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all for an absolutely wonderful experience. Before I do anything, I want to show you something, please. And it's very simple. It's just a little shell. Doug and Connie will recognize this, because many years ago when I visited them on Vashon, I found it on the shore down by the water. And I have used it for many years in my ministry as a priest to baptize children and anyone else who wants to be. And so the water theme goes on. It scoops water, washes away sins, helps people to a new life and moving forward. And I just wanted to let you know that I have it still, safe and sound. Again, actually one of the little ones dropped it and broke, but it's repaired. I shared a blessing a Gaelic blessing with Alex, and I'm assuming that what she sent me on WhatsApp is what she wants me to read, which is the same one that she opened the service with, to come home to yourself. But I would like to use this blessing in Gaelic, which is actually either a toast or a blessing. But the English of the translation of it is, may we all be alive and together at this time again. Agus gomermi bio eranam shaharish. And so as you go forward into the year, as we go forward into the year, may all that is unforgiven in us be released. May our fears yield their deepest tranquillities. And may all that is unlived in us blossom into a future graced with love.
Thank you, Brian. Beautiful. And thank you for that connection to Vashon that you carry with you and you use with everyone. Right from our quartermaster harbor.
Yep.
So now it's time to, I'm going to blow out this chalice. And if you have a chalice at home, you may blow it out too.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. And thank you so much to Alex and Kat and Stephen and all of the readers for this wonderful time together. As Alex said, the Zoom will be open. She's going to show a short video. And then if people want to stay around and chat, you're welcome to do so. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
All the best to everyone in 2021.
Happy New Year.
Alex, do you want me to play that for you? I've got it. Oh, you've got it. There you go.
Imagine what the first music of the wind was like when the earth was born out of nothing.